Well, let's try part 2. Let's see if YouTube will let me. But we saw how to put it in. Well, I at least showed you the direction that it has to go in. I did it with one hand. Now, this is actually part 2. Now, the reason why I'm going to call it part 2, I don't know if it'll work, but now you can see there's nothing down the barrel. And now, how we're going to test it. Well, this is where it's going to take a little bit of ingenious. Liquid love. Right here, we've got 3 22s completely punched out. All that it is just a primer. I know what a lot of you guys are saying. Don't care. My house, my rules. Now it is loaded up. Now, like I said, I'm not going to take it outside and fire a 22 in the middle of the ghetto. I'm not going to risk shit. So, hammer is cocked. It is loaded. Let me just double check. Yep. Time for a test. Ooh, that sounded pretty. Now just to test the extractor. Ooh. Looky, looky. Let's try if it'll work for number 2. Oh, yes. Like I said, this thing was already cleaned. You know, I ran all the small parts in this thing through my ultrasonic. And number 3. Well, that's all 3 primers. You know, that's the one thing I like about this, is how smooth it is. You know, there's barely any hiccups. And for being, I don't know how old. I mean, you consider it 1915, it's 2000, almost 2012 now. And it runs like glass. Now, a couple people were saying that this needs to be fixed. Well, throughout all the research I've done, the main thing about this is right here. You complain that it doesn't like to hold. Well, you got to look at it like this. When the hammer's cocked, you're holding the lever. You know, you're holding it roughly like this. But, you know, I know you shouldn't dry fire it, but once that hammer's dropped, you know, it's got a little bit of play, but nothing major. Now you can see right there, you know, it's got a little bit of play, but the one thing, once you drop it, you know, it becomes solid. Now, you only have 2 stages in this. You don't have 3 like a 1911, where you've got your hammer dropped, half cock, and full cock. Well, now that's out of the way. You know, like I said, I do give Warner a lot of I do give that company a lot of credit. Well, now on to what I like to use. I know. Well, Wilson Combat Ultima Lube. Ultima oil. The one thing I like about this is the hotter the stuff gets, the slicker it gets. So therefore, I mean, you could run 1,000 rounds out of your AR and not have to worry about it. You know, that's the one thing I like about it. Now, to actually do all the cleaning, Eezox, full synthetic. This stuff is like liquid gold. Not cheap. I think I paid $20 for the can. But it runs. I mean, I'm not going to bitch. But I figured I'd do that one. Yeah, no, I got a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. But I figured I'd at least show you guys that. You know, you can see my little timer. I know it's messy, but it works for me. But, you know, it's what I like to use. Now, I will be doing a few other videos. Hopefully. I've got a few other toys I could pull out. Like, mainly, my pride and joy. 1911 for 2011. Mainly Kimber. Uh-oh. And no, it has been safety checked. There's nothing in the tube. There's stuff in the mag, but nothing in the tube. But, yeah, it's got a nice little laser setup. And it's not a newer Kimber either. It's actually an older one. I got a screaming deal on it. I couldn't say no. Now, the other stuff I am going to be doing on is right in here. Ah, crap. I don't even have my flashlight. Well, we have in this corner Remington 1100s in 28, 12, 2 410s, 870, at least my style, Winchester Model 12, a Glenfield Model 60, I think that's also a Stevens 12 gauge. It's a single shot. A Arasaka Remington Speedmaster. Now this one's actually an interesting one. I will be completely honest. SKS, an Enfield, my little toy. Sub 2000. Mosin Nagant, a Ithaca, a Ruger Mini 14. Now this is also going to be another video. This is actually my father's old hunting rifle. This is actually a Remington Woodmaster 742. Now this is the one that a lot of people always complained about with the extractor breaking. This thing, believe it or not, the extractor still does work after I don't know how many rounds through it. But it's going to be another day. Yeah. It's just going to be a process. But let me upload these, and, you know, I do appreciate your comments. You know, comments, questions, maybe I can help you out with a few things. I don't know. We'll find out.